welcome to this episode of Video Drone by DIY3DTech.com. So we're back out here. We did some work on the Mavic. So in the last episode, you've seen I had some problems with the gimbal, and I think it was actually the newer filter might have come a little bit loose. So I've removed it because when I went to the Go 4 app, which is what we're going to be flying with now, it told me that I still had the gimbal lock on. So it looked like when I was starting it up, what was happening is it was hitting the side of the gimbal with the filter, and so it couldn't go all the way through its setup function. But now it seems to be okay since I've taken that filter off. So definitely an interesting little dilemma. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try taking this up. I've already checked hover, did my maintenance checks, and so we're going to try this again. I'm going to go ahead and start recording. And so I've started recording, and I'm going to take this up. This seems to be doing better now. And I'm just going to take it out. Try to run into the tree. And really got some interesting sky views going on out there today as some weather starts to roll in. So just kind of catching the video of that weather, the clouds. So now it's complaining about high wind. Like I say, I've got gusts up to about 14, probably 10 sustained, 14 gusting. And so now I don't want to run into the trees, Joe. So I'm going to take it, I'm just going to kind of take it down and kind of run it back up, excuse me, run it back up the beach. Got a frog in my throat. So I'm just kind of running it down. And I'm just going to kind of take it down a little bit and take it out there a little bit and just do make sure I get this. So what I'm going to do is turn this around. I want to line it up on the beach and walk it back out over a little ways, and okay, I want to back it up a little bit more, and I'm just kind of watching it down there, and get it to about the end of the beach. I want to set up some lychee missions on this too pretty soon. Do some automated runs. I'm just kind of messing around here. Alright, so what I want to do is I just kind of, well, I want to, before I do that, I want to angle it back a little bit, do an autofocus, and just kind of walk it up the beach and just kind of get some scenic views. So I tell you what, these yellow glasses, I'm not sure about the whole glass cam thing yet, but I tell you what, these glasses work fantastic. These yellow glasses I did the review on a little while ago. Really happy with the yellow glasses. They have done very, very well. Using them right now also. I was going to talk a little bit more about that in the last video, but I ended up talking about the issues with the gimbal. But they are phenomenal for being able to see it, because especially one of the things I really rely upon of flying over the water is really the contrast. And these really add a lot of additional contrast. And then with the 2x cheaters, I'm looking at the screen right now, and it's just phenomenal. So being able to see the screen like that. So I'm really happy with these. They're about 20 bucks. I wish they were a little bit higher quality. I thought for, you know, I hate to say it, but for 20 bucks I was going to get a little bit higher quality. But they're not bad. You know, because the lenses actually seem very good. It's the actual frames that I think could do a little bit better. And they're really, I think, supposed to be safety glasses. So I want to make sure I don't run into that tree because I'm still pretty low. And so, okay, so I'm going to spin this back around. And I'm going to try another run with the camera a bit more. I'm glad the gimbal problem didn't turn out to be as big of an issue as I thought it was going to be. So, I'm just going to take this down and just kind of walk the beach down a ways. So anyways, like I say, but as I was trying to get to a little bit before I sidetrack myself, is with the blue blocking, especially against the azure sky and the water, really does a nice job to build the contrast of the black or the dark gray of the Mavic Pro against the sky. So I've been really happy with him so far. I've done a couple flights with him. Again, I'm not so sure about the glass cam. One of the things is it's supposed to have LEDs on it to indicate recording, and that doesn't seem to be working. So I don't know if it's defective. I'm going to have to send it back or what, but so I'll have to see on that. It does vibrate. It does provide a tactical feel. I don't know if they're supposed to be like the 808 with a setup file or an INI file on the SD card. It does have a timestamp card, or not card, but file on it. I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing here. It does have a timestamp card or file. I keep saying card. I don't know why I keep saying card, because I'm paying attention, I guess, flying. But anyways, but it doesn't seem to have an INI file like the 808 does. So I'm going to have to play with that a little bit more. I just really haven't had time. So again, just kind of taking this back up the beach, getting some scenery. Let's see what this is. I think that's just kind of washed up driftwood. Let's get some focused on that. And then let's come back here. Get some of the breakers just kind of washing up. Might be interesting to play with some of this video as hyperlapse footage. With the waves breaking like this. Got some minor white caps. They're not as big as they were the other day when I was out south of here flying. So a little bit lighter. And a little bit lighter on the wind too. That's why I was surprised with the gimbal stuff in the last video. Having problems, but just kind of taking it up. Just passing me on the beach there. You can see really how the waves have eroded with that big drop off there. And the jetties, I'm getting passed by a seagull. And again, just kind of, oh, don't complain, Mr. Seagull. So this is actually pretty cool. I like this. This is good stuff. I think I'm running to the end of the beach, so I want to pull this back around, and we'll give it one more shot down. And so let's do a video up, and so you can see the beach. What I'm doing is trying to set the grid lines on the Go4 app to kind of line up with the beach, or the sort of indentation you see there, and fly down that indentation, or that ridge line, if you will, kind of trying to line things up. So that's what I'm kind of doing here, because the shoreline's not uniform, so you actually have to fly in and out a little bit to match the shoreline. So I'm just trying to actually practice a little bit to make it, see how smooth I can get it. So again, I'm just kind of bringing it down, playing around. As you see, I'm moving in because it's, you know, tapering in. And then you see this moving out. See, this is where it gets me, because it's too jerky. When I start pulling it back out over the water, I need to practice a little bit more. That's basically what I'm doing, is just kind of practicing getting this, because now I'm cutting it at a bit of an angle, so I've yawed it back around. So the copter's flying at a little bit of an angle, but that's okay. That's kind of a cool. Now, so I pulled it back. Whoops, don't want to go that far back. Might run into something. But that's where mission. But this is always sort of. I'm getting too far in. I'm going to hit that tree. And I'm just kind of moving it along. So just out here having some fun. It's not a bad day. It's about 30-some degrees out here. Could be a little bit less windy, but it's still early March. Just gotten out of February. So hopefully, since March did come in like a lion, it'll go out like a lamb and be a few less issues. Let's gimbal it up and look out over the lake a little bit. So there's a ship way out there. I don't know if you can see it. You can see it with my eyes, and I'm not sure you can see it with that. Let's mess around and do something here. So one of the things on my 5D, I've got it set for. I'm filming in 2.7K, so I can actually digitally zoom in, which is kind of a cool feature. So I'm now at 2x zoom. And so now I'm looking around at 2x zoom. I want to bring it down because I want to come back and I want to look at these. I'm going to back this up a little bit. So I really like that, the idea of the 2x zoom. That's not something I really hear too many people with the Mavic talk about, is the 2x zoom. But it does work, you know, since I upload at 1080p, you know, filming in 2.7K is just fine, and then, you know, being able to zoom in like this is pretty cool. So I'm now have, you know, 2x digital zoom. So what it's doing is actually binning the pixel sites on the CCD or the CMOS. I'm not sure which one DJI uses for this, but so that just doubles up the image size and, you know, does a faux zoom. But it's definitely an interesting feature. I like that quite a bit. So I'm really kind of interested to see when the Mavic Pro 2 comes out, if it really does have a full 1-inch sensor. That would be pretty impressive. And even if it just trades off the flight time for being the same. So it's kind of flying up with the 2x zoom. Getting some views. We're getting down there on power, so I'm going to bring it back here in a second. So I'm going to, so you see me zooming out. So I kind of like that. I'm going to really like that for chasing ships when it gets a little bit warmer and the ship traffic starts building up, is being able to digitally zoom in on the ships. So again, you know, shooting in 2.7K, oh, I'm coming back pretty fast. So I'm just about over top of me. So I want to raise it up a little bit and yacht back around so I'm looking out there. Let's get a horizon shot. I'm going to shoot some of the horizon. Really nice kind of colors. We're getting later in the day now. So sun's setting behind me. I'm facing due east and sun's to my back. So we're getting some nice colors off the water there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to back it up. I'm pretty much about where I took off. And so I'm just going to bring it back over. And which is nice because it's not busy here. I can land on the concrete. Oops. Need to bring it over a little bit, Joe. Let's make sure I get it on the concrete, not the sand. So again, really happy that I've got everything set. Hopefully I've got, I had it in focus. I think everything seemed to be. So I'm just going to bring it down. I'm going to save off the video, and the wind coming around the building is really buffeting it, so I'm going to go ahead and set it down. So now I'm going to give this one a big thumbs up. So I think this was a pretty good flight. I'm happy I didn't have problems with the gimbal, or big problems with the gimbal. It just was that filter. Let me know if you've had problems with your filter. I love polarizing filters, so I'm really disappointed that that didn't work out. I've done a couple other flights with it and it's worked, so I'm not sure if it came loose, came out a little bit. I'd taken it on the lathe and spin a little bit of that aluminum off, or maybe try to reshape it or do something. So anyways, let me know in the comments below what you've done. Also, let me know what you're thinking about for lunch. Subscribe button's going to be over there, and big thumbs up. See you guys in the next video. Cheers.